Hi, I'm Dustin Harper, Senior Project Manager for Harmon Construction. Welcome back. We're in the basement of the Jack Jouett project. Let me show you a couple of the challenges that we've encountered on this project and our plan for moving forward. What we're doing here is we have to make plumbing provisions. So we've cut out this floor. The plumbers have to come in here. They have to run their sewer line to get some of that out to the main. When we were excavating down here, it was brought to our attention that you have situations like this where the old sewer line has a hole in it. So even when you get to the trenching, that doesn't mean what you're tying into is an acceptable structure to carry the new sewer. So we'll have to replace that section. These big gray lines, they're electrical feeders. All these lines have to come up and they have to feed the apartment. The top apartment has less infrastructure than the first floor apartment. So on the ground floor, you're gonna have a tremendous amount of these lines that come in. They're big, they're not very flexible, so it does present challenges as you're trying to pull those up to the fourth floor. As we go into this side of the basement, you'll see water infiltration in this trench. What we're gonna have to do is pump this down. Once we mitigate the water, we can do the plumbing rough in, we can fill it up with gravel, and then once you have concrete in here, it should be suitable. In addition to that, the plan is to reroute some of the existing drainage, make this site flow and drain much better. Behind me we have PEX lines. You can see it's very flexible, so running water lines, while it can be challenging in historic buildings, it's much easier with PEX. What's more difficult and less flexible are the plumbing stacks. In this building, the owner opted to use cast iron. Cast iron just helps so that in an apartment situation when you have several people above you that you don't hear the flushing, or it minimizes that sound. So as the plumbing stack comes down, with that comes challenges because it was in direct line with this floor joist. Well, you can't cut out a floor joist without having to do a structural repair. If you look up on the wall here, a lot of these joists were run into masonry pockets, so we have to re-support and then come up with some pressure treated 2x10s or 2x8s and lag into the building to further support that structure. We're in A wing, this is the bedroom. It was about 3 or 4 inches sunken down. We had to expose these areas, one to support and lift the floor, but this is also where the new plumbing lines and fire sprinkler suppression line is coming into the building. So we're gonna have to run that through the foundation to get it where it needs to go. In this kitchen situation, you have 3 different flooring products. The owner would like to have the hardwood floors refinished. What we're gonna have to do in here is rip all this up. If we have some patchwork, we're gonna use some flooring that we pulled out and salvaged. In the areas that are big, like a kitchen, we're gonna have to have similar, but not historic, new flooring put in here to match. Recently, when we were coming up on the 4th floor, we noticed that some of the ceiling rafters were damaged and we had to do a process they call sistering. That way, that weight distribution in that damaged joist is spread out and creates a solid structure. I'm gonna bring you outside. We could show you some exterior elements and how we're working through them. We also have to go in and tooth in. It's a method where you remove the brick in a staggered pattern. That way, when you infill this area, while it will be old and new brick, it minimizes the appearance of a patch. If you don't tooth in, you would notice a large square where it would be a direct cut. So by toothing it in, it helps minimize that and look as much to the original intent as possible. So as you can see, inside the building, we're dealing with a lot of challenges from the physical structure of the building and making sure that it can be modernized. What you don't see are some of the delays that are still associated with logistical challenges currently, as well as manpower. So you add all that together, it's the perfect puzzle that we have to work through in this project. Myself and Harmon Construction, we're excited to figure all these challenges out and get this building up in tip-top shape and get it back to the owner.